Coffee, I told you we weren't done yet for today. We have more to do. Come on, you didn't believe me when I actually said we were wrapping it up for the day, right? You knew that I was going to be right back, because here I am. Because on the Skype line with me right now is our sports guy, Neil Villapiano. You can catch him out every Saturday on the NVP show right here on the Radio Vision Network. Good morning, Neil, and welcome back. How are you today?
Good morning, Mark. I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm all right. Yesterday was week 5 of the NFL season, and the Eagles are coming off a bye. You know, I'm a big Eagles fan, and yesterday we went into Detroit, and it felt like Thanksgiving all over again as the Detroit Lions beat the Eagles. And man, the Eagles, they started off with a really tough start, started to play better in the middle and second half of the game, but couldn't get it done. What happened there, Neil?
Well, what you saw was actually, to me, was a little bit surprising. The Eagles definitely got off to a slow start in that one, getting down quickly 14-0. And to me, what happened is that the Eagles gradually were able to get things going offensively, but really they couldn't seem to catch up and eventually move in front of the Lions. The Lions did shoot themselves in the foot several times and gave the Eagles opportunities to come back and possibly take the lead and win the game, but the Eagles just never pounced on those opportunities.
Yeah, I felt like Wentz, his first interception, he forced that ball downfield. I don't know why they needed to take that gamble there and try to go for it all back all at once. Ryan Matthews has a good game and then fumbles at the end. It really was a messy game for the Eagles. The Eagles are still in a good spot, except that the Cowboys just keep winning. What the hell is going on there, Neil?
Well, what they've done is they've been able to shake off that Week 1 loss at home to the New York Giants, and they've rolled off 4 wins in a row and now are pretty much on top of the NFC East, where I think most fans were like, geez, now with Tony Romo, now they're all of a sudden they're really good? Geez, what can we do to prevent America's team from having a good season? But you got to give a lot of credit to Dak Prescott, the quarterback of the Cowboys, and Ezekiel Elliott, the rookie at Ohio State, the running back. Those two have combined to do some pretty impressive stuff. And Dak Prescott actually broke Carson Wentz's record for most consecutive passes without throwing an INT. So really, Dak Prescott has slowly become a big fan favorite for the Cowboys, and Ezekiel Elliott has been very solid for the boys as well. So all in all, offensively, it's smooth sailing for them Cowboys.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's smooth sailing until next week when they go into Green Bay and get smacked, and then everybody comes back to earth with the Cowboys. They matched their win total from last year yesterday with 4.
Mm-hmm.
And let's keep going on in the NFC East, because I know that there's a team up there that you're a fan of that they just look awful right now. And man, what a mess! What is going on with the Giants, Neil?
That's a really good question. And honestly, I'm starting to run out of answers for everybody when they ask me, what do you think is the problem? Honestly, in my opinion, the biggest problem the Giants have is just the lack of consistency. Like, the Giants sometimes look like they'll never be able to score a touchdown ever again. And last night, for most of the game, if you watched it, it looked like the Giants would never get to that point. They were able to finally score a touchdown late in the game and almost come back when they had several opportunities to do that, and they just never did anything. They've spent so much money on their defense, and Ben McAdoo, to me, he's a really good offensive coordinator. To me, he's not a head coach, and he just seems like that. He's not focusing enough on the offense, and that's the Giants' Achilles heel this year.
Well, honestly, he looks overmatched. It's kind of a mess out there right now. How does Victor Cruz go through an entire game without a catch?
Again, like I said, it's this offense is not what it was last year. Ben McAdoo is not focusing enough on the offense that he has been known for, and they're not spreading the ball as much. I feel like sometimes they're trying to force the ball too much to Odell Beckham, and they need to spread the ball out a little bit more and get guys like Victor Cruz and even their rookie wideout Sterling Shepard into the game in order to spread it out and to allow Odell Beckham to get some chances to get open and make plays.
Yeah, honestly, though, the funniest thing that happened yesterday was Beckham finally gets in the end zone. It's a crazy play. He tiptoes into the back of the end zone. They claim that he went out, he came in, like whatever it was. They called it a touchdown. Dude is on the sideline, runs over to the field goal kicking net and kisses the net, unlike a couple weeks ago when he pushed it and knocked it over and all that stuff. That was actually a really funny moment, Neil.
Yeah, honestly, throughout the entire game, it was stressful and it was frustrating, but that kind of made me laugh for a few minutes. I thought that was pretty funny. And, on Twitter, definitely it was trending a lot. And I thought that was, look, Odell Beckham's just trying to have a little bit of fun. He said last week after their tough loss to the Vikings that he's not having fun, that the NFL is making it very, very frustrating for him and making it not fun for him to play. And so he's just going out there trying to make people smile and laugh and have a good time because, that's what's most important to him.
Yeah, well, it's frustrating for these receivers because they don't know what a catch is and what's not a catch. And it seems like the rules change from week to week. It really is a crazy scenario. But I don't want to forget about that other New York team because the Jets look terrible too. What the hell is going on there?
Yeah, I'd say it's the same old Jets. The Jets stand for just enough to succumb, to be honest with you. And, the Jets, they have the same problems that they've been having for several, not just for this year, but the last couple of years. Ryan Fitzpatrick is not the quarterback of the future for the Jets. I'm sorry. I know that there are Jets fans out there that want to believe that, but he's just not consistent. And the Jets, I'm pretty sure, had no confidence that they could go into Pittsburgh and possibly beat the Steelers. I mean, it looked like the game was over within the first couple of minutes, and it was only 7-3. And at one point, the Jets were actually winning the game in the second quarter.
Well, it doesn't make any sense to me because the Eagles gave the entire league the blueprint on how to beat the Steelers, and it was like the Jets didn't even look at any of that game tape. Where'd you go? He's frozen. Oh, is it coming back? Neil.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. All right. So what I was saying was that the Eagles gave the league the blueprint on how to beat the Steelers. Did the Jets not see that game tape?
The Jets, look, the biggest thing that a lot of Jets fans will tell you is that whoever the head coach is just doesn't seem to understand what it means to be part of the Jets organization and how to fight things that, have gone against the Jets for years. And so, I just feel like sometimes you could say the Jets are hard-headed. They do things on a consistent basis that end up losing a lot of games.
Yeah, it's got to be so frustrating to be a Jets fan, and I actually, because they're in the AFC, I can actually feel a little bit bad for them. But what's really crazy about the AFC East is that the Buffalo Bills keep winning games. But Neil, I know we got a lot to get to, so let's leave the Bills in Buffalo for now because Tom Brady is back, and the Patriots yesterday, man, they looked unstoppable. This is kind of scary for everybody.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, I had him starting on my fantasy team this week, so I was pretty happy that I did that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's just kind of move right along there with the Tom Brady thing. But let's move into the baseball playoffs real quick. I know you're a hockey guy, and the NHL is starting, but really, Neil, nobody cares about hockey right now. You have to just understand that it's okay. We all love hockey. We all like hockey, but it's October and nobody cares about it. Let's talk about playoff baseball. Yesterday, we had the Toronto Blue Jays walk off and eliminate the Texas Rangers, so they move on. The Texas Rangers, they traded for Cole Hamels last year. Cole Hamels got rocked the other day, and the guys that the Phillies got for him actually played this year. How disappointing it was the end of the Texas Rangers season for them.
I mean, as a Blue Jays fan, I don't really feel that way, but as a
you're an objective sports analyst, Neil.
Well, look, yes, it was a sad way to see them lose because in Game 3 they were really, really competitive. Because if you watched Games 1 and 2 that were played in Texas, the Rangers really never seemed to get close to competing with the Blue Jays. They looked like they didn't deserve to be on the same field. And then Texas at one point even had the lead late in the game against the Blue Jays in Game 3, but let the Jays tie it up and then eventually win it. And the way they won it was kind of bizarre. It's just it was a ground ball. It should have been a double play, but instead, the ball took the first baseman off the bag, and Josh Donaldson of the Blue Jays heads up at third base, decides that he's going to take a chance, and the gamble paid off, and the Jays walked it off, and now for the second consecutive year have advanced to the American League Championship Series.
Yeah, I mean, what is that? Is that like a walk-off error? Like it's such a weird way to win a game.
I guess you could call it that. I mean, I don't really know exactly what they called it. All I know is that, it was a walk-off run.
Yeah, we've got 3 games on the docket today. One of those games was supposed to be yesterday, but Hurricane Matthew's remnants knocked out the Indians-Red Sox game, so they're going to play that game today with the Indians ready to eliminate the Red Sox. But the series that I'm interested in is Washington and the Dodgers, because the Nationals tied it up yesterday. It's now 1-1. But this series really, I feel like this is the best series going right now. What do you think about that?
I could see that, but I would probably say that I think the best series we have is Chicago and San Francisco. And I know that sounds a little weird because San Francisco's down 2-0, knowing that they're 1 loss away from being eliminated. But you have to remember that the Giants, obviously, games 3 and 4 are in San Francisco. Madison Bumgarner is going to be pitching. And I think the Giants, if they can win Game 3 tonight, that they're going to get back in the series. And maybe or maybe not could possibly steal that Game 5 if they force it to that point in Chicago. So we'll have to wait and see. But to comment on the game you're talking about, yeah, I can see how that could be a very interesting series. It's tied up. I think that's the series that a lot of people are not talking about as much. But I think that, look, if the Nationals could steal a game in L.A., and force that Game 5 in Washington, I think the Nationals have a big shot of possibly doing it. But I think the Dodgers are probably going to take both Games 3 and 4 and probably win this in 4.
Well, the reason I find this series interesting is because both of these teams have had high expectations for the last, 3, 4, 5 years, and they never seem to get over the hump. And now both of them are in the position to get to the National League Championship Series. So that's why it caught my attention. Now, Neil, we got to talk about college football because we had an amazing college football game over the weekend. Rutgers just barely losing to Michigan in a nail-biter. Wow, what happened in that Michigan-Rutgers game?
That was an old-fashioned butt kicking, if you ask me. I mean, there's no other way I could describe that game to you.
Yeah.
I turned on when the game started, and I was full of excitement. Rutgers' defense was playing well. They even forced a turnover, but their offense never generated anything. And they ended up giving up 78 points at home on national TV against, right now, the 5th best team in college football. And to make matters worse, it took Rutgers until 9 minutes to go in the game to get their first down. They finished with 2 first downs all game, and by halftime, the Rutgers had a total of 6 yards of offense.
Oh gosh, that is brutal. It was funny because the last 2 weeks, they got shellacked 78-0 this week. Then last week they lost. Right? Didn't they get shut out last week too?
Yep, they lost 78-0 this week and lost 58-0 to Ohio State last week.
Oh man, we either need an easier schedule or we got to reevaluate what's going on over there. That is just tough. I can't believe that. What was the line on that game? Any idea?
I think Michigan was favored by at least 30 points.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be huge, but really to cover a line that big and oh my gosh, that is just unbelievable. But
it's brutal.
Let's hope that Rutgers can turn things around. We talked about that Memphis Temple game on Thursday, and Temple made it interesting, but Memphis ended up eking the game out just for a little bit of a follow-up. Now, we are running out of time, and I know that you are a hockey guy, so let's mention that the NHL season is starting later this week. So what can we expect kind of from the NHL this year?
Well, the NHL season will be kicking off this Thursday. So a lot of, obviously like myself as a hockey fan, very exciting that the NHL season is back. And obviously being a fan of a bunch of football teams that have been struggling this year, I'm kind of glad that hockey season's finally underway because I need a breath of fresh air, to be honest with you. But no, I mean what you should expect this year is another exciting year with a lot of enthusiasm. And also, look, we have another bunch of outdoor games this year. We have one that's being played at a soccer stadium. We have ones playing in Canada, obviously in the U.S. And, look, we just had the World Cup of Hockey, which I think was a good kind of little appetizer to get you ready for the NHL season. And now that all teams are set with their teams, I think this should be a good season, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, what I'm looking forward to is a lot of the young players coming up in the NHL because we got a chance to see them in the World Cup of Hockey. And I know specifically for a Flyers fan, we've got a lot of young prospects that we have a real high hopes for. Now, Neil, I got to ask you, who are you a fan of? Are you a Rangers, Devils, or Islanders guy?
I'm a Devils fan.
You're a Devils guy, okay.
Yep.
We'll have to talk about that 2000 Eastern Conference Finals where Scott Stevens took out Eric Lindros. I was in Disney World. It's a great story. I almost got into a fight with some guy. I was with my family. It was a weird afternoon. I'll be honest. It was bad. It was really bad. But I think
Flyers fan, huh?
Yeah, I'm a huge Flyers fan, and I'm really looking forward to the Flyers' 50th season this year. But I think that the Devils and Flyers can actually rekindle this rivalry a little bit because I think that the Devils are also going to be pretty good this year.
I hope so. I like playing the Flyers. I like the physicality of those games. I enjoy it, and we'll have to wait and see how this year goes.
Yeah, I'm glad that the Devils play a modified version of that crappy trap that they used to play. Those games used to be so brutal to watch, man. They would just run that trap all day. It would be like pulling teeth trying to watch anybody skate around because they just molest the guy with the puck every time. It's terrible.
Absolutely.
Neil, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me this morning. We're going to catch up later in the week and get an update on all this stuff going on.
No problem, Mark. Thanks as always.
Yeah, my pleasure. So that's Neil Villapiano. You can catch him every Saturday right here on the Radio Vision Network. He hosts the MVP show, and he's always bringing you great sports stuff from all across the land. So you got to check him out. So that, my friends, is truly going to do it this morning on Morning Coffee. I'm not kidding this time. They are going to let me out of here. So what you're going to have to do is come back tomorrow and every day in the morning here on Morning Coffee on the Radio Vision Network. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Sub some sizzle. This is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Simply Gents, located in Marlton, New Jersey, takes care of all your grooming needs, including haircuts, straight razor shaves, massages, facials, manicures, pedicures, and waxing. To find more information or book an appointment, visit us online at www.simplygents.com. The secret weapon of a well-groomed man, Simply Gents.
If you haven't been to Speed Raceway, what are you waiting for? You want to live fast? You want to make every second count? Then grab the family. Round up the guys. Speed Raceway is 100,000 square feet of excitement, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. Speed Raceway is the place for endless fun all summer long. Log on to speedraceway.com or just get here now.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to make a really great sub, this is what we do. It's what we've been doing. It's what we've always done. It's what we'll always do. So what are you doing? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Today's show was brought to you by Alicia Kelly of White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey. Alicia is your RV expert. Contact Alicia at whitehorserv.com or give her a call at 856-262-1717, extension 203. When you think of RV, think Alicia Kelly.
Today's show has been sponsored by Farmers Insurance in Voorhees, New Jersey. To protect your assets and the people you love, call Mike Skoranek, your local Farmers Insurance agent, at 856-336-2553.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.